Dark empaths, a masterclass in manipulation and exploitation. Welcome back, everyone. Have you ever felt like your partner understands you just a little too well? Like they always seem to know exactly what to say to get under your skin or bring you down? If so, you might be dealing with a dark empath. These individuals are experts at reading people's emotions and using them against them, making them the ultimate manipulators. But don't worry, because today we're going to teach you how to break free from a dark empath once and for all. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel to stay updated with our latest videos. Now let's get started. Signs you are stuck with a dark empath. A person with dark empathy is one who uses their ability to understand and manipulate people's feelings to get what they want. They are skilled at identifying other people's weak points and then exploiting them for their own gain. As a result, if you suspect you're dealing with a dark empath, it's important to be aware of the warning indications that can help you break free from their grasp before it's too late. Number 1, they play mind games with you. Dark empaths excel at playing mind games with those around them, which makes it difficult for victims to break free. For example, they may use tactics such as gaslighting to make their victims question their own sanity, or they may use reverse psychology to get their way. In addition, dark empaths often play the victim to avoid responsibility and accountability, which can make it difficult for victims to set boundaries with them. If you notice these behaviors in someone you know, it's important to take action quickly to protect yourself from further manipulation. Number 2, they are masters at emotional manipulation. Dark empaths are masters at emotional manipulation, which makes it difficult for victims to break free. They are able to read people's emotions and exploit them to get what they want. For example, they may use guilt, shame, or fear to control their victims. Additionally, dark empaths are skilled at making their victims feel like they are the ones in control. However, this is just a facade to hide their true intentions. If you notice these warning signs, it's important to take action quickly to protect yourself from further manipulation. 3, they can turn people against you. Dark empaths are experts at turning people against one another, which makes it hard for victims to break free from their manipulative grasp. They do this by playing on people's emotions and exploiting their weaknesses. For example, they may spread rumors or gossip about their victims to make them look bad. Additionally, dark empaths are skilled at making themselves look like the victim in any situation, which can cause others to take their side. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to remember that you're not alone and there are resources available to help you cope. 4, they lack empathy. Dark empaths are known for their lack of empathy, which makes it difficult for victims to break free from their web of manipulation. Despite their name, they are not capable of understanding or sharing in the feelings of others. Instead, they exploit other people's emotions for their own benefit. For example, they may use guilt or shame to control their victims or make them feel like they are the ones in the wrong. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who exhibits these behaviors, it's important to remember that you deserve better and there is help available. Number 5, they are highly sensitive to criticism. Dark empaths are highly sensitive to criticism, which makes it difficult for victims to break free from their grasp. They may react angrily or defensively to any perceived attack, even if it is constructive. This sensitivity to criticism stems from their need to maintain a sense of superiority and control over others. If you try to offer feedback or express your needs, a dark empath may twist your words and turn it into an attack on them. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to remember that you're not to blame and there are resources available to help you cope. 6, they make you question your reality. Dark empaths are masters at making their victims question their reality, which makes it difficult for them to break free from their grasp. They do this by manipulating situations and making their victims feel like they are losing their mind. For example, they may gaslight their victims by denying things that have obviously happened or making them feel like they are overreacting. In addition, dark empaths are skilled at making their victims doubt their own judgment and rely on the manipulator instead. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to remember that you're not alone and there are resources available to help you cope. 7, they are experts at keeping secrets. Dark empaths are experts at keeping secrets, which makes it difficult for victims to break free from their manipulation. They will never share secrets or private information unless it is to their advantage. This lack of trust and secrecy can make it difficult for victims to open up and be honest with those around them. Additionally, dark empaths are skilled at using secrets to manipulate their victims. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who exhibits these behaviors, it's important to remember that you deserve better and there is help available. 8, they may seem charming at first, but it's all an act. Dark empaths can seem charming at first, but it's all an act to gain your trust and manipulate you. Once they have you in their grasp, they will use any means necessary to control you. This includes playing on your emotions, guilt-tripping you, and making you question your own sanity. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who seems too good to be true, it's important to take a step back and be cautious. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who treats you with respect and kindness. 9. They are skilled at making you feel guilty. Dark empaths are skilled at making you feel guilty for doing something they ask you to do, whether it's something big or small. They may use guilt trips as a way to manipulate you into doing what they want. This can be especially effective if the request is phrased as a personal favor. For example, they may say something along the lines of, "I know this is a lot to ask, but I was hoping you could do this for me." When you refuse, they may start making you feel guilty by saying something like, "Are you really not willing to help me out? I thought you cared about me." If you find yourself in this situation, it is important to remember that you are not alone and there are resources available to help you cope. Number 10, they will never admit they are wrong. Dark empaths are never wrong. They will never admit when they are wrong. If you try to point out their mistakes, they will likely become defensive and dismissive. This behavior can be incredibly frustrating and emotionally draining for those around them. Dark empaths are skilled at twisting situations to make themselves look in the right, even when they are clearly at fault. They may use tactics such as gaslighting to make their victims question their own memory and perception of events. If you find yourself in a situation where a dark empath is refusing to take responsibility for their actions, it's important to remember that you deserve better and there is help available. Number 11, they are controlling. Dark empaths are known for being extremely controlling in relationships. They need to feel like they are in charge at all times, and they will use any means necessary to maintain control. This can include isolating their victims from friends and family, monitoring their activities, and even dictating what they can and cannot wear. Dark empaths often use manipulation and gaslighting tactics to keep their victims under their thumb. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who exhibits these behaviors, it's important to remember that you deserve better and there is help available. Breaking free from a dark empath. If you suspect that you're stuck with a dark empath, it's important to take action as soon as possible. Here are some tips to help you break free from their grasp. Be aware of the warning signs. As we mentioned earlier, there are several warning signs that you're stuck with a dark empath. These include a lack of empathy, being highly sensitive to criticism, being secretive, seeming charming at first, making you feel guilty, and being controlling. Set boundaries. It's important to set boundaries with anyone, but especially with dark empaths. Let them know what behavior is and isn't acceptable, and stick to your guns. Don't be afraid to say no. Dark empaths often exploit people's fear of confrontation, so don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't engage in arguments. Arguing with a dark empath is like arguing with a brick wall. They are skilled at twisting situations to make themselves look in the right and will often resort to gaslighting tactics. Don't waste your time and energy trying to argue with them. Instead, focus on getting yourself out of the situation. Get support from others. If you're stuck with a dark empath, it's important to get support from others. Talk to friends, family, or a therapist about what you're going through. They can offer emotional support and practical advice on how to deal with the situation. Take care of yourself. Dealing with a dark empath can be incredibly stressful and emotionally draining. Make sure to take time for self-care and do things that make you happy. This could include taking a hot bath, reading a book, or going for a walk in nature. Remember that you are not alone. Many people deal with dark empaths at some point in their lives, and there is help available. Reach out to friends, family, or a therapist for support and guidance. You can also find helpful resources online and in books. With the right support and guidance, you can break free from the clutches of a dark empath and move on to a healthier, happier life. Have you had experience with a dark empath? What was your experience like? Share your story in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our latest videos. And don't forget to like and share this video with those who might benefit from it. Thanks for watching.